French Polynesia in a State of Natural Disaster by Taylor Fitch. French Polynesia is an overseas collectivity of France consisting of 5 archipelagos in the south central Pacific Ocean. The capital, Papeete, is located on the island of Tahiti. Tahiti is an island that was formed from 2 volcanic cones. The island of Moorea is separated from Tahiti by a channel 8.5 miles wide. They are both considerably high islands with mountains that rise as high as 7,352 feet. The 2 islands are well connected by boat and taxi planes. On the weekend of January 21st, French Polynesia was declared in a state of natural disaster after torrential rain and heavy flooding. A state of natural disaster was declared because the flooding began to destroy the island's infrastructure. Many major roads were flooded and destroyed by landslides, and at least 5 major bridges were completely destroyed. Economically, many jobs were impacted as many businesses were flooded and even destroyed entirely. Schools on the island remained closed in order to continue the cleanup. Also, the island's international airport was closed for several days as a direct result of flooding and in order to clear debris from the runway. In terms of social effects, 6,000 households were left without electricity, and even days later, there were hundreds that still did not have power. An estimated 800 homes were completely destroyed and not able to be salvaged. Although this was a huge natural disaster and caused much damage, very few people actually leave the islands when things like this happen. The French Polynesian government claims it's not an option for people to leave due to cultural and religious beliefs. In order to try and combat climate change, the French Polynesian government has signed a memorandum with California's nonprofit organization, the Seasteading Institute, in order to cooperate on creating legal framework for the development of a floating island. There are many ideas floating around, however no official plan is set in place. The floating island is planned to be French Polynesian territory close to the shore off the island of Tahiti and protected from the high seas. The islands are planned to be hosted in a tropical lagoon. The goal is to offer an opportunity to adapt to rising sea levels and a new social approach to living on sustainable floating islands. Leaders of French Polynesia think that this could be one tangible solution in order to maintain the population that is anchored to the islands that are impacted by the rising sea levels. The Institute claims that the communities will be sustainable, shunning fossil fuels and destructive use of the seas. Officials of French Polynesia obligate the Seasteading Institute to demonstrate the economic benefits for French Polynesia, as well as to provide environmental assessment to assure the health of the ocean and seabed. The pilot islands are planned to cost a total of $10 to $50 million. With the plan of the floating islands comes many questions. Many people question whether or not it will in fact benefit the local economy. Will they actually be able to install the island without affecting or damaging the environment? The floating islands plan to have a unique governing system where authorities will grant them leeway in order to govern themselves and have their own special economic sea zone. There are no plans or agreements as to how this will all work out, as the island will still be under the ownership of France. Although the nonprofit has been able to raise $2.5 million from more than 1,000 interested donors, that is far from $10 to $50 million that they need. When asked how they would make up to pay the rest, they claimed it was a blank slate. Many critics are unconvinced that sustainability is in fact the real goal, with many of the prominent supporters keen on eliminating tax regulations.